Welcome to Offline Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Bias, and if you know me personally, you know that I really like to talk. Hence, I decided to start a podcast that explores and documents the adventures and personal growth of graffiti artists, both here in South Africa and abroad. This is the first podcast that South Africa has to offer doing graffiti interviews. And every episode, we'll be interviewing a new local or international artist. Hi guys, welcome to Offline Guys Podcast. This is episode 2. I'm very pleased to be doing another episode, and I'm very pleased to have a good friend of mine here on the episode, all the way over from Amsterdam. So this is our second interview, and we're going to be speaking to a really well-known clean train writer called Bulk. His crew affiliations are TPB and BPS. I only know what TPB stands for. I think it's the Fat Boys. I'm not sure what BPS is. He'll enlighten me. I've personally known him since about 2018 or 2019. We met in Joburg when he was heading back to Netherlands after living in Cape Town for almost a year. And we remained good friends ever since. And whenever I go to Europe, I try and link up with him. I missed him on the last trip, but I am going over in December, and I will catch him on this trip. Something of note to me is that last year I painted Media of Styles Belgium, and I met a lot of really cool writers. But Bulk came over and even facilitated painting a train with me in Belgium, and that was so cool, man. It was awesome. I wouldn't say so. So Bulk is more of an illegal writer. I wouldn't say that he's like a typical gallery kind of guy. He's more like a train gallery kind of guy. And in terms of his style, I'm really interested in finding out what his style is to him, because for me, it's like a very classic European style. So welcome on the show, and I'm so happy to talk to you, and I'm happy to see you again.
Yeah, happy man. Thanks for having me. It's been like maybe it's been like a year and a half since I've last seen you because last
Yeah,
time we didn't get to meet. So yeah, man, I'm happy to be here and
and I'm bummed
to be on the podcast, man.
because I missed like 2 trains or something if I had met you.
Yeah.
Oh well,
So it was a fun trip, but it wasn't as good as we were planning on it to
uh,
be. But
maybe
fuck it,
this next one I'm here longer, so it'll be cool.
we will get something done.
All
Let's
right,
try something.
well, getting straight into it, like you would describe yourself as an illegal writer, right?
Um, I'm not. Yeah, like if you look at it like statistically, like I'd say, yeah, I do like more trains than walls.
Okay.
But I consider myself more of an all rounder.
Yeah.
I'm not really big into bombing because of the place that I'm living in, like the area that I'm living in, and the spots, and like really my motivation at the moment is more in like trains.
So
Uh,
not really street bombing at all, just like
yeah,
trains.
not really. Yeah,
And
no
trains
street.
in Europe is kind of fairly common, but I don't know, it's not that common in my opinion.
It
You
is,
have
yeah,
to
it is.
like I mean it is, but you have to have a certain like energy to do it and
Well,
some
yeah, of course,
balls.
but you also have to have a lot of energy to do bombing. Like if you want to do bombing every night and you want to get noticed, then you have to do a lot, you know. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, I want to start with a couple of questions just to start us off properly. So my first question is actually, what is your first graffiti name that you ever wrote? And if you don't have something, maybe an alternate name you write now, because I know that you've changed names a few times. Maybe for trains, you change names between things.
yeah,
And I'd just like you to explain your current name, Bulk, and how that came about.
yes. So let's start at the beginning. When I was starting out, I was maybe 13. So
Yeah.
it's almost 20 years ago. Um, I was starting out like I wrote yard, YARD, which is funny. I only painted it once, but I was like doing yeah, it's a stupid name, man. It's like
No,
the
no,
most
this is
old
why.
craft story name.
This is my favorite question because the names are so good.
Yeah,
Yard.
your one was Fonzie or something.
Alfonso.
Alfonso, yeah,
It's
yeah. I
7
remember
letters.
the
It's
first
too long.
episode. Oh man, do it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after I did that, I did one piece with it, or it was more like a throw up in a local skate park.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started
Did
writing, I think stay, STEY.
oh cool. Okay.
Did that for like maybe 2 years, but then I found out it was like a big bad guy from Rotterdam who wrote it. Well, I'm not sure if he's like a big bad guy, but that was what the story was. So I was like, man, maybe I should change it. I started writing SORE, SORE. Well, it also turned out that it was like another guy writing that. So yeah, another bad luck.
Seen as
And
big.
then yeah, and then I ended up with SOAR, SOAR. So same pronunciation, but like
Oh yes,
different meaning.
that's where I
That's
first saw when you were saw literally in
yeah.
Cape Town. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wrote when I was in Cape Town. It was like 2011, 2012, I think.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
did
so
that for,
you were in Cape Town earlier than 2018.
yeah, man. I was like, when I was living
Oh.
there, like you said on the intro, I was living there in like 2011 for until 2012, I think.
Oh. Okay.
So, and I was living in Cape Town, and yeah, it was a good time, man. And then, yeah, I was writing that, and then when I got back, I got like tired of how the letters were like sitting next to each other. So I was like, I should
Yeah.
change it again.
R
And it
at the
was
end.
Razo,
Yeah.
so RASO, and then kind of yeah, I stuck with that for like 5 or 6 years. And I still do it occasionally, but now I changed it to bulk. In the beginning, it was I combined them a little bit, but then in the end, I was like, I like bulk a little bit better. It's time to get
Yeah.
a little bit of a name.
I like it
Give me
too.
a bit of traction. So I was like, yeah, let's just switch it up.
And obviously, it just means like you're doing a lot. You like doing as
Uh,
much as you can.
it was, like I was like always and still am, but not as much. Like a big into like fitness and bodybuilding and shit. So that's
Is it?
that's where the name comes from, and I love to eat, so it's like a blessing and a curse.
It's like something to do with like Fat Boys stuff again, in a
Yeah,
way.
for sure. Like man, when I was like 18, when I met like Bams, my friend, we were like both really fat. I think it
I
was
can't
like
imagine
under,
that,
under
dude.
10 kilos, like big boy.
You're
And
like
then
super fit, in my
yeah, right
opinion.
now, not at the moment, but like maybe 5 years ago, man, then I was. But I'm getting older, like the body's showing again.
Yeah, that's one of my questions. We'll get to that. It's not really about how fat you are exactly, but it's similar.
You wanna know my body fat like percentage?
I'd love to. I'd love to know mine. It's
I
not
don't even
great.
know.
Thanks a lot, beer. Um. So tell me what is the name? What does BPS stand for? I mean, obviously, crew names always have like a number of different names, but maybe you have something
Uh,
specific.
the one that stuck with me the most is Barba Papa.
Is
Barba
it,
Papa.
it's Dutch.
The
Barbara
yeah.
Papa.
I think it's Dutch, man. I think it's like a comic or something.
Ah,
And it's like these shapes, and it's like these puppets, and they can get in. They can form into any shape or letter or something. So
that's
I
cool.
think that's one name, and then it was you have a lot of things. It's berenklauwpossen. Berenklauw is
Like
like a Dutch
beer.
snack. It's like a deep fried snack.
Ah, cool.
So it
I
means
love
like
hearing the different language stuff.
yeah.
Did
So
you
it was
get
like
did anyone teach you any Afrikaans while you were here? There was like
poes.
yeah, that's a good one. Did anyone
I,
teach you umlungu?
man, they probably did, but it was like 10 years ago. So
Umlungu
I
means
don't remember.
means the white man, and actually
Well,
the real meaning of
I
it
was
is
definitely the most white man, like in South Africa for the time I was living there. They called me the
yeah.
crab because I would get burnt all the time because I didn't use like sunscreen.
Really?
They
That's so
called me
funny.
Mr. Krabs for like from SpongeBob.
No way.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
awesome.
It was horrible, but it wasn't and also maybe because I was Dutch and like Mr. Krabs loves money. He's a little bit greedy. It's
Really?
like a
Did it?
Dutch stereotype.
I've never heard that the Dutch are greedy. I've never heard that ever.
Yeah,
That's
it's like a
super interesting.
stereotypical thing.
So like
I don't think we are. I don't think we are. But
I mean I don't know. I don't know. Um, maybe Afrikaans people. I don't even want to comment on that. I'm a little bit scared on commenting on that. Um,
What your publisher is going to kick you?
yeah, I don't know who's. Well, he's not Afrikaans, but it's just
Oh,
like I'm not sure who's going to listen. Um, so I'm interested in like how you came to be in Cape Town, and you don't have to tell me exactly what you were doing there, but like, did you do any trains? Like, did you just sort of like suss it out? And how did you feel about South Africa and Cape Town specifically? And
yeah.
what did you think when you came to Johannesburg when we met up? What did you think like the difference was between Cape Town and Johannesburg? Which one did you
So
prefer, maybe?
yeah, so if we go back to like 2011, I came there for school. So I was doing like an apprenticeship, like a design agency, and I wasn't really doing well. So I was more like drinking, partying, and sitting at the beach because like I don't have a beach where I'm from.
Oh yeah,
Well, not from the part of the country where I'm from. So it was like more partying and not really going to work and shit. So it was really making a mess, and painting a little bit as well.
and
But it was
who
like,
did you paint with locally? Like who was like
um,
one of the first couple people you met up with, if you
yeah.
can
So
remember?
I'm probably gonna miss a few people, and I'm really sorry. But I think I painted like I looked at some pictures earlier, and I was painting with like a Smet, Spot. I
Ah,
think
with Spot.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
Acre.
Okay.
And I don't know, man. Like I haven't seen him since the time I painted with him. I think it was him, or no, it was Cars. Cars. It was a
Oh,
different guy.
Cars.
It was
I love
Cars. Yeah,
Cars. He's awesome. I
yeah,
mean,
it
I
was him.
also linked
Sorry,
up with him back in the
I
day.
switched them up. Um, yeah,
He
and
doesn't do
I
graph anymore, unfortunately.
did. Oh wow, that's sad. Yeah, he was a nice writer.
Yeah, nice guy.
Yeah, and then
Crazy guy.
I
Nice
did my
guy.
first panel in Cape Town actually, like my first panel ever.
Really?
Yeah, so that was a bit sketchy.
With who?
I went with Toe and Sure, so
Awesome.
yeah, that was like
So,
the best.
yeah, the best combo team ever. Wow.
Yeah, and they were like super nice guys as well. So they like we went to like 3 missions and like two
Yeah.
failed and one worked out. So yeah, I was like super happy.
Yeah, Toe is a friend of mine. I'd like to talk to
Yeah.
him at some point.
And then
We'll see.
I actually met him like I think he's in Europe now or something. Or maybe he was in Europe.
He's
I'm
in
not
the
sure if
UK.
he's now, but like we painted like a panel and yeah.
He's in the UK. My friend Drake, who just recently moved to the UK, says he's extremely up,
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true because I've seen a lot
like
of
on track
tubes.
sides and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and tubes and stuff. Yeah,
Sick, sick.
that's actually something I wanted to ask about, but we'll get into it. Tell me more about Cape Town, how you found it, like
Yeah.
people wise, beauty
Um,
wise. You know,
you know, like I actually still have a lot of good friends from Cape Town, and I think
awesome.
it was like through work, but also through graph, and yeah, I think you know it was just fun, like a fun place to be at the time. I found it a little bit different in 2018. It was a little bit more sketchy. Um,
Hmm,
at least that was my experience.
that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's like yeah, that's just my experience, you know. And I got robbed when I was there, and
Mm.
so like that's probably everybody there got robbed. But for me as a European, from the nice little Dutch country, it's very safe. And
What did you get robbed with out of interest?
it was like
A
was it
knife
a
or
knife?
a gun?
Yeah, it
A
was a
knife,
knife.
huh?
A
Cape
knife.
Town's like that. Here it's guns, there it's knives. It's
Yeah,
like really
yeah,
close and intimate robbings.
yeah. It wasn't it wasn't a nice experience, but in the end, it was funny, man.
Yeah, like so like before you came to South Africa, for example, did like people say to you, "Oh no, South Africa is such a dangerous place. You shouldn't come here."
And I
Um,
was looking at all these documentaries about like townships and
oh,
shit, and I was like, "Fuck, man, that's like, why am I going?" But in the end, like, it didn't like even when I went to the townships with my friends, like they are they're from Cape Town and they're like locals and like yeah, I don't know, like back then they called it like Cape Town colored.
yep,
Or something like
colored
that.
people,
Yeah, I
Cape
don't want to be
colored.
racist or something, but that's what they call
No,
themselves.
no,
Um,
that's a real thing. I can even
yeah,
explain it to people on this podcast that it's a it's a total ethnic group basically in Cape Town
yeah,
that mostly exists in Cape Town. Look it up, Google it.
yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
like they took me to the townships and we had a party and barbecues and it was
really?
amazing, man.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun. And looking back at it, it like really changed also my perspective on people and on like like if you really get to know people, and then yeah, it can be really nice. Of course, there's still like bad shit going on. Like you can definitely see it, and you hear it in the news. And when I was there, like a lot of killings and shit. But I
Yeah,
think
wow.
yeah, like if you just meet the right people, and there's always gonna be good people. So
Did you?
yeah, you're gonna have a good time. And even with graph, like you meet, and it's like a little bit of a cliche, but wherever you go, you will make new friends.
When you
So
were in Cape Town painting in 2011, 2012, were you painting in 2011, 2012?
yeah,
So like around that time is actually kind of even before the Cape Town scene kind of collapsed, because it's sort of collapsed now with the DA, the political system, like making it really hard to do anything illegal and that kind of stuff, or even legal. So I'm kind of interested in how it was for you. Did you find it like easy to get walls, or were you like painting like far out, or did it seem like accepted by the communities, or no?
yeah, there were a few legal walls, and like for the rest, I just did some bombing at night.
Oh, really?
Uh,
Wow.
yeah, that was pretty stupid in hindsight.
You actually
But
painted at night? We don't paint at night
yeah, when I
here
was
in
drunk,
Joburg. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, and it was
That makes
stupid, man.
sense.
Yeah, so I will tell you this story. There was I was painting and I did like a highway spot close to my hotel
Mm.
where I was living, and I was walking around and like super drunk after like maybe like 4 at night or something, and I was finished painting and I was walking through the street, and like this guy on a bike came like racing down the street like super fast. Must have been going like 120 kilometers an hour or something, like super fucking
Whoa.
fast. And
Motorbike.
yeah, on a motorbike, but he was like completely like he wasn't naked, but he was like in his underwear or something. Yeah,
What?
and like and then like when he saw me, he fell. So
Oh,
he
no
literally,
way.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my.
and he slid across the street for like
Oh
50
god.
meters or something. Like it was a big crash, and the guy stood up and he started shouting at me, and I was like, "What the fuck?
No way.
What am I doing here?" But he was like completely in blood, like from head to toe, he was in blood.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I was like, "Man, I
That's
need to get the hell out of here." So I left
that's
the
so
street.
wild.
Yeah, I left the street. I found like a security guard. Security guard first question was like, "What the fuck are you doing here at night?" The white guy. And I was like, man, you really need to go around the corner if something happens. And he was a little bit sketchy, He's like, I don't want to go. You really need
Uh,
to go. And then he found the guy, and I just left. I
oh
don't remember what
shit.
happened to him. I was like, fuck, man.
That's so hectic, dude. I wonder why he was in his underpants, just going for like a night ride, dude.
Man, he was super high, man.
Catching the
Like,
breeze, dude.
yeah,
Did you finish your chrome? I assume it was a chrome, but did you finish your piece?
yeah, of course.
Oh, cool.
It
It
was,
must have been like such a
it was
good
after,
piece, dude. Made
it
this
was
guy
already.
come off his bike.
Yeah, I took the
Uh,
guy, I took him to the wall, and I finished my background with his blood.
awesome.
Yeah,
So I want to talk a little bit more about trains as well. Just want to I want to know from you like how you got into mostly doing trains, how it
yeah,
makes you feel to do trains, and how long it took you to kind of like get into the system and understand, like the ins and outs of it and checking the yards and watching and that. Because for example, in Cape Town and Johannesburg, you really have to watch a lot longer than you get to paint ever.
yeah. But that's
Yeah,
always the case.
of course, because you have to research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, how I got into it at first, like I was always interested, like it's like I was only painting walls for maybe 10 years, so and maybe I did like a few panels here and there, but it was mostly like abroad. I didn't really have the balls to do it at home. Um, yeah, and then after a while, I was like, ah man, I couldn't take it. I was like, man, really need to do it. And then when I moved to a different city, because my town doesn't have a yard, like it's like super small.
Mm. I
Um,
know because I've been there.
yeah. So you've seen
Yeah,
it. So it's like super small.
yeah,
So when I
yeah.
moved to like a different city, which actually had a yard, I was like, okay, so let's check it out. But I also knew the guy who was like controlling the yard, which was like at the time, like I knew him. We hung out a little bit. We painted a few walls, but we weren't like big friends.
Mm.
And then after a while, I just started like telling him, like I really want to go, blah blah blah. I checked it, I checked the spot, and like he really saw that I wanted to go. And then one day, it was like, ah, fuck it, man, let's just go together. And the rest is like
Mm.
a little bit of history. I just checked it, checked it
But
a few
you,
times a week, and then
when
just went to paint.
when we were in Belgium together, I remember you like kind of disappeared for a while and then came back and you're like, look, I got the key, like one of the, I think it was like it's either a train and bus terminal key from someone. Like you had somehow gotten into the bus terminal, right? You tell me.
Yeah, yeah. We were. I was heading off with a friend, and we were walking into the station. It was like next to the Hall of Fame. It was like a bus terminal, I think. Yeah, like a bus yard. We were just walking around, checking it out because we were drunk.
Yeah,
And then
I know
we
because I
found
was
like
drunk with you
yeah, it was
a
the
lot
same
of the
day.
time. Yeah.
And we found a jacket, and like in the, I took the jacket, and then once we were outside, I found the keys. So yeah,
Fluorescent jacket. Yeah.
yeah, I still have the keys here. Like I have them next
Sick.
time. It's sitting laying here.
That's so cool. And what
Yeah,
is the key for? It's for train doors, bus
yeah. It's for like
doors.
it's like literally. I thought it was like a big thing to have it, but you can buy it online. It's like a
Ah,
standard kind of thing,
ah,
but it works on the buses, it works on the trains and stuff.
interesting. You could
It's
probably
like
buy that off Timu these days, I would
man,
imagine.
I saw one. It's like €9.
Really, on Timu?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you should get yourself one, man.
Maybe I should get one. I don't know. It's very
It's
dangerous
called
doing
it's
trains
called
here.
Belgian bus train key.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
So then, still more on the illegal tip of like doing illegal trains and stuff.
yeah,
There's a lot of other writers who listen to this will know that. I mean, for myself, I have kind of like a strict set of rules when it comes to doing trains. Like even just like when it's doing like track sides, for example. Even track sides, when the train comes, you hide. You don't
yeah,
let the driver see you ever. You're like sneaking around, that kind of thing.
yeah,
Um, but at the same time, social media has become such a giant thing in the world these days, and as a like completely illegal writer, and well, I know you said you're both, but like to be doing train stuff, you're never posting that train stuff. The only train stuff, I've never seen you post it. You've only ever sent it to me privately, and even then I try and keep your anonymity and like delete the photos, make sure they're not on certain things, that kind
yeah.
of thing. But how what does it mean to you? Like how does the internet feel to you in that regard? Like, do you feel like it fucks with shit?
Yeah. It's like it works both ways, man.
Yeah,
So it helps you a lot because you kind of know what's happening where.
yeah,
So that's always interesting. I have a lot of friends that send me videos of people in the yard, and I was like, oh, okay, so where's this? And we find out where it is, and then we try it ourselves. So thank you for
uh-huh.
that, the guys that are posting everything online. Thank you for the pictures and
Like the
helping me
guys,
out. Yeah,
the
like
spotters.
no, it's like people who paint at spots and then like they snitch the
Ah,
spot. So they would
oh,
post a video of them. It's like super recognizable how to get in and how to get out and where to paint and stuff, and what times and shit. So it's like super stupid for them to post it, but for me it's like interesting.
you're
Uh,
just like taking the info. But I
yeah,
mean, I
so
know that you guys are like ultra, really set up about how you go about it. Because even when I painted with you guys, with Kino and Spunk and these guys, like
yeah,
we were like super. We wipe down all the cans, like make sure everything's prepared. We like make sure the spot's good. We
yeah,
like literally the day after we painted this train, Kino sent me a picture of my contact lens that had fallen out. He found it in his car, and I
yeah,
was like, "Dude, how do you
yeah. But
clean your
that's not
car
me,
so
man.
well to find that?" Wow.
That's just him. That's
No,
not me,
but
man.
I'm
I'm
sure,
like chaos.
but I'm sure you like take photos and like have to occasionally hide the memory card in your fucking socks and dump your camera somewhere and that kind of thing.
Yeah, of course, that happens occasionally. Like when
Yeah.
something happens in the spot, you kind of have to like get rid of your stuff. But I'm like I want to say that like I'm not like a super big train writer that you're making me out to be. Like I'm like more in that sense. Like I do it. I'm not
Okay.
as big in the country as like other people are. Some of my friends.
Sure.
But yeah, I really enjoy it. So
Makes you feel good. Like it's surface best surface. I'm guessing for you is probably steel.
yeah, of course. But I did I did a wall last weekend, and if you can
Oh
just put in
yeah,
the
I saw it.
hours and like make it nice, then
I saw it.
yeah, it can actually make something. Like you can spend some hours. And I've also been inside of some yards that you could spend like a few hours there, and we've done it. Especially like super good nights when it's like a holiday or maybe like New Year's Eve or something.
Yeah,
That's always a good night. But yeah, it's like a lot of spots that you can actually make something nice instead of like rushing it if you
yeah.
know how to do it. So, and Europe in that regard is like pretty. Yeah, not gonna say it's easy, but it's like super doable. So
So how do you feel about the spotters that take people here in South Africa probably don't know much about that. We don't have many people like that bench
yeah,
trains and take hundreds and hundreds of photos and upload them daily. I
yeah,
mean, this is how I got my photos were from spotters, and
yeah.
it
I'm
was a
not. I'm
weird.
not gonna lie. Like a lot of my friends hate it.
Yeah,
I'm not that big of a hater. I tend to use it to my advantage because I cannot spot every day. People
no.
will call me a toy for that, like that I don't go spotting from my own panels. But I like if it turns out online, I'm not gonna be angry about it. But some
If you
people,
know, sorry, if you know where the
yeah,
route is, you can, you can just get it later or whatever. That's okay.
yeah, that's true. But also, I don't also always have the time to go
Yeah.
spotting. And people will say, "Oh, you're not hardcore enough for that." Like, so be it, man. Like, fuck it.
No, I think it's just because we're getting older, and that's okay.
Yeah, man, I can't be bothered sometimes, to be honest. Like I do really enjoy it from start to finish, like preparing everything and then like getting the pictures. Like I do
Yeah,
really enjoy it. But sometimes you just can't, and then like I just have to, talk to a spotter and send him the info, and then he will go get the pictures. And then sometimes I send it to like the guys that actually post it on the internet, but I also have a lot of guys that like don't post it on the internet and I only get it from them, so that's really good. And I prefer the last one, like that it doesn't
yeah.
get uploaded,
Doesn't
so it's
go
just
out.
my personal
They just send
collection,
it to you. Yeah,
Yeah, but
because I
like,
think
yeah, if there's no other option, then yeah, fuck it, man. I really want to get the picture, so
that's how a lot of people feel. This is how I used to feel in Johannesburg when we would do like a really nice legal wall. There would be someone that comes along, takes a photo of it, and uploads it immediately. When you're not really done with the wall, or you're not, you're still
yeah,
preparing something to do with it, or people just don't get it. They're just like, "Oh, nice graffiti, upload it." But that's
yeah,
nice that sometimes they pay attention to your needs and say, "Okay, well, I got this photo of yours for you. Like, here, let me just
yeah.
send it."
You can be like a big craft diva and like, please take my pictures. I don't want to take them. Please do it
Yeah.
for me. I'm tired.
Have you ever met any spotters that are like really dodgy or like kind of like maybe undercover or something?
Like police.
Yeah, I feel like
No,
I've.
no. Well, there's one guy, and there's like stories about him because he works for the government. But he's not. I don't believe he's like police. But people are like pretty sketchy about this guy. And he's running like a big Instagram page as well.
Hmm,
Like I don't think I've met him. I've seen him a few times at a jam or something, but I never really talked to him. Like I don't really want to. But
does he look like police?
yeah, yeah. Of course, he's bald guy, and so
There was a jam I was at once in Joburg here. It was quite a big jam, and we had it was like they had something in South Africa called Right for Gold that's organized by Rasty.
yeah.
And I mean, not Right for Gold. That was back in the day. It's called City of Gold. Sorry, Right for Gold was something else that happened.
That was in
Yeah,
Joburg, right? City of Gold.
City of Gold. Yeah, Right for Gold. We'll talk about in a future
That's
episode.
worldwide.
Actually,
Yeah.
yeah, it's worldwide, but we did have one in Cape Town, in fact,
Oh
and
wow.
Lumit was there even, which is crazy.
Wow, shit. Fuck Mary
But
Kill, Unit.
yeah, sure, we can do that. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you can ask me that if you want. Like, you get to
No,
ask me
no,
a
no.
question.
We'll get to that later.
But I was at this jam, and one of my friends came up to me and said, "Oh my god, like there's this guy here. He looks so much like an undercover police officer." And I was like, "It was literally Rasty's sister's husband. He was just like a normal dude. Like he watches rugby on the weekends. He's like wearing his sunglasses, just hanging out at the jam." And this dude was freaking out. "Oh my god, the police are here!" I'm like, "Dude, it's not the police. It's literally the dude who organized it's brother-in-law." Like, just what the hell?
Yeah, man. I think at some jams you will have police, or maybe I don't know. I'm not like really paranoid about that, but I don't really paint my name at a jam,
Yeah,
at like a public event. So
yeah,
I organize my own jam. Like I would paint my own name. Well, I'm not.
yeah.
Yeah,
I get that. I get that. So yeah, moving on now. Let's talk a little bit about travel. Have you traveled much to paint? Like, have you traveled to a lot of other countries? I imagine access through Europe is easy, so you probably have. But
yeah.
could you tell
That's
me,
that's
like, what's your favorite places to paint, or
yeah.
that
So
you've painted or been to, or
yeah, I traveled a little bit. So obviously South Africa. I went to Cape Town, Joburg, Durban. Um, and for the rest, I just really stayed in Europe, man. Like I haven't painted in all the places I visited. I really want to, but sometimes my girlfriend gets angry like when I want to go paint. But yeah, gotta keep the balance. Um, but yeah, I painted like I think the I painted a lot of countries in Europe, like not the Eastern Balkan countries as much. I only painted like in Slovakia and Hungary, and
okay,
oh yeah, and Slovenia as well.
cool.
And then for the rest, like I went to Italy, Spain, France, Belgium, um, Germany.
You ever been to the States at all?
No, I want to, but yeah, it's not. It's like a bucket list thing, It's just something you want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
You ever been
like
to
last
Asia?
year. Sorry.
Asia at all?
Never been there, man. No,
No.
and it doesn't really. I don't know, man. It's like
Yeah,
it doesn't really attract. It's not super attractive for me. Like I'd rather maybe go to Australia,
I agree.
or maybe even like I would really like to explore like Eastern Europe a bit more. But
Think you'd ever
yeah,
come back to South Africa?
maybe.
Maybe.
I'm not saying no, but like it's a lot of
No.
money. Like
Oh, I agree. I feel
yeah,
like it's yeah, it's probably it's I'm coming over to you in December and it's a lot cheaper because it's winter, but
yeah,
it's summer here now and I can imagine it's pretty expensive.
yeah. It's pretty expensive, but yeah, and as well, yeah, you need to have the time for it. Like I can't with my job, I can't just leave like for like 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So I kind of like have to work, So, but maybe in the future, man, we will see. And like, I really want to go back to Ireland. I try to visit
Oh,
like Ireland every year. I didn't go this year because I had some other stuff. But I went last year. And there's like I always go to like Dublin and Cork.
cool.
And like shout out to everybody from Ireland. It's like
Awesome.
they're my good friends, man. I've been coming there for maybe after like the second or third year I've been from writing. I try to go there every year. Like I just have like, a lot of friends there, a lot of crew.
Yeah.
Um, good times, man. Yeah, good people.
I've also been to Ireland. I really would love to go back sometime.
It's amazing, man.
Such a green place.
Yeah, I think you would fit in there well, man. You look like yeah,
I mean, I'm fully aware that I look like a leprechaun. It's
well,
funny actually. I
I would.
embrace being ginger, dude. It's the best thing ever. I'm like the most unique, dude. And you've seen my tattoos.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like how do you feel like getting a bit older and sort of like settling down a bit more into I wouldn't say family life exactly, but like
Yeah.
I'm sure when you were younger you did a lot more big commission walls and or maybe not commissioned but like more like legal concept walls and stuff like that. Do you
Yeah.
feel like you after getting a bit older you like starting to lose steam a little bit, or do you think the beer
Um,
keeps you at like a higher level sometimes?
Sometimes, maybe for like the past few years, I wasn't really into like big concept walls, maybe doing like one or
Yeah,
two a year. But
yeah,
now at the moment, I'm really like motivated to do more because I don't know. I see my friend and crewmate, and he's like also my mentor, Bams. And he's still doing it, and he's like in his 40s, and he's like
really.
doing like productions and shit like every month, like a few.
Is he
Like
someone that taught you?
yeah, yeah. So when I was like maybe 16, 17, and I started hanging with him and painting with him, and he taught me a lot. So,
And he
but yeah,
still
like
writes.
still writes, man. Still
That's
writes. Family, kids, house, work, whatever. Like still does it a lot. And only walls, like it's fine. It's fine. It's really good. He's like super good style writer. in my eyes, like one of the best star writers in Holland. But yeah, that's also a bit biased.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Honestly,
yeah,
I have nothing against anyone doing whatever they want to do. Like,
yeah,
if you want to just do walls, that's fine. If you want to bomb, that's just fine. Like,
yeah.
really,
So
I'm not here to do that. I think on this podcast, I really want to explore people's personal journeys and like even see like what kind of like even speak to some fine artists and stuff like that. A
yeah,
different sort of perspective.
yeah. I
Do
think
what you like, dude.
yeah, man, for sure.
There's
Like I
too
think
many people in the world. Just fucking do whatever you want.
and even yeah, man, even man, people like graffiti, people don't like graffiti. I like
Mm.
anti-style. I don't
Mm.
I don't mind, like I don't mind people doing anti-style. Like, and I think it's sometimes even better than like these sticker like graffiti shit,
Yeah,
man. Just give me some stock caps, a little bit of primer, and chrome, and
yeah,
fuck up your wall,
yeah. I actually like some anti-style myself. There's a
man.
couple of accounts I follow where I'm like, whoa, this is such a cool idea. Like, it's so
Yeah, yeah.
interesting.
Well, sometimes it works, and when it's good, and that's the
Yeah.
man, super cliche, but that's really what it is.
Sometimes when it's bad, it's good though. That's the thing. That's the problem.
Yeah, but good, and you can see when somebody actually has like talent for it, and they probably don't want to admit that they have talent because they want it to be ugly, but
Yeah.
you can see that they're like that the anti style is kind of stylish.
Yeah.
It's not in letter, and they're like probably fucking up themselves with it.
So in my view, a little bit like after seeing, if you just like go onto Spray Daily and like watch the videos of like panels running, like they have these like daily panels of running, and some of the styles you see on this shit are just like you're like, what the fuck is that? Like, what are these letters? But
Yeah.
actually, it's just maybe like a regional style, and it's actually quite popular. But I just don't know shit, so
Yeah,
it's
and
it's quite
also
interesting.
like if you're like under time pressure,
Yep.
things are going to come out differently. Like
Oh
if
yeah.
I'm at a wall, I can spend I can literally spend 2 days sketching out my piece if I like. I never done that before, but I could if I wanted to. And if you're like under pressure,
Hmm.
you're gonna have to perform in either way. Like shit's gonna look either horrible or good, and whatever. You got to do it at that time.
Yeah, it comes out more raw. It just comes out
Yeah,
how it
exactly.
is. It just is what it is, basically.
It is what it is. Like
Yeah,
you cannot really think about it too much. Kind of have
yeah,
to
yeah,
just let it out.
yeah. Exactly. So we're gonna move into the next section, which is one of my favorites, is graffiti stories. I mean, you've already told me this motorbike story, but I wonder if you have any other ones that are super good. Like, I mean, that's a cool South African story. It's like one of the craziest stories I've actually heard.
Oh man, I like to be honest. I don't have a lot of super crazy stories. I don't
Okay.
think I can't remember. I was gonna tell that one because you told me this question was gonna come. So I kind of
It
blew it
should
for
come in
myself.
every interview, I think.
Yeah,
Such a Everyone loves chase stories, and like
yeah. I don't have them, man. Like I've like knock on wood, but like I never really had a super big chase. Like I've been chased out of yards and like had to run from, but not never from like police like on my heels or hiding in like bushes or getting a gun pulled on me or anything. Like nothing crazy like that.
yeah, yeah.
Like
That's South Africa.
yeah, yeah, but still, even you can have like a crazy story in
Oh,
the Netherlands or
definitely,
in Europe. Like
definitely, definitely.
I heard some stories, man. Like man, I think my biggest thing is I'm just like sometimes when I'm drunk, I get into like really bad shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I get super drunk and I do stupid shit. So I would not see people walking in the yard like
Oh,
workers, or
oh
I would
shit.
like greet the security guard on the way in, or like I've done that before. Uh, so
Oh man.
that's actually a fun story. That's how I got my nickname, which I'm not gonna
No, I know
share
it though.
here. But I was like super drunk of like
Is
craft
it?
beer, like
It's the
super
one I
strong.
know, right? It's that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's that one.
yeah.
Yeah. So like it's the story is more funny than the name, like how the name came. So I
The name's
was like,
super funny.
yeah, and I was super fucking drunk, like super drunk. I couldn't remember anything, and I got home. I lived close to the yard, like pretty close to the yard. So I was like, maybe I should go out and check the spot. And the spot was looking good. So I was like, okay, let's go. And got my cans, walked to the spot. On the way there, I bumped into the security guard. Like, it was outside on the street, but it was like the security guard for the spot, and he was like walking with his dog. Like, he was just walking his dog, you know. And I was like, "Hey man, how are you? Good night." Yeah, yeah. So okay, okay. Hope you enjoy your night. And I walked onto the yard like 2 minutes later. Um, I got into the yard. I painted a piece, but it was like super. It was like pitch black. I couldn't see shit. And
Gotta eat more carrots.
yeah, sorry.
You have to eat more carrots.
I know. I don't like. I Man, that's horrible.
It's okay.
Oh
I'm
my,
kidding.
it's shit.
Carry on.
Yeah.
It's pitch black.
Yeah, it was pitch black. And when I was outlining the piece, so I did everything super chill. I was falling over my feet and like rocks and shit all the time, but it was fun. When I got to the last letter, I didn't know what name I was painting anymore. So I just thought, maybe I should do like a B, because I thought I was doing a TPB. And
Okay.
I was like, okay, maybe I'll take a few photos. And I took a few photos with the flash so I can look at it when I get home. When I got home, I looked at the photo and was like, looks good, looks good. It's like I was super drunk, so I couldn't really judge it. When I looked at it the next day, I was like, what the fuck? What did I do? And I couldn't even read what I made. And in the end, I mixed up the TPB and the BPS, and I made like a BPB. And like, usually I don't care, because a lot of the stuff that's like in this spot gets buffed really quickly. So I was like, okay, it probably gets buffed in like 2 days. Uh, I wanted to get a day picture. I got a good one. The piece still looks horrible. Like, I will send it to you, but it was fucking horrible. And when I like, seriously, like a month later, the train was still running. So, and it got in traffic, and it got like in all of the big spotter accounts, everybody spotted it. And I got like a million messages from people like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, what did you do? How drunk were you? And I was like, oh man. But that was
Awesome.
a fun one. I'm not sure. I had loads of those stories, like being super drunk in the yard and like not seeing
So
security or.
your nickname comes from that. Is that because your nickname means something in Dutch that I didn't know?
Yeah,
Must be. Okay, you
yeah.
have
So
to
the
tell me
nickname
later.
is, yeah,
You don't have to tell. Don't say
yeah.
it
So
now.
so
It's
the,
all right.
the nickname is because I mixed up two different
Uh,
words.
I see.
And just like I mixed up the letters in the piece, I also mixed. I wanted to say something like drunk, like super drunk or something, and I mixed up the super
uh,
drunk with something else.
I mean, I don't blame you. It's just like super dark. Like,
Yeah, man, I'm not proud of that moment, but it's a fun story to tell.
I mean, you know that when we were in Belgium. Sorry, someone's hooting really loudly outside, but hopefully that doesn't catch.
I can't hear it.
It's the police, dude. They're here. Shit, we gotta go.
Run, run,
Yeah, run.
delete the file, man, please.
I'll delete it right away. I'm gonna burn this laptop. Um, yo, so when we were in Belgium, remember we wanted to go to this yard, and there were like five of us. In the end, there were five of us. It was meant to be four of us, but remember, I brought my friend with
Yeah,
Kush. And do you remember we were speaking to these Polish guys, and they were like, they were super wasted, and I had just been in Poland, and Polish people are just crazy, and they were like, no, 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 you can't paint this yard, you can't come with us unless there's only two of you, and we were like, fuck these guys, whatever.
yeah, but that was like during the day, right?
It was during the day, yeah.
Yeah,
So at night we were like, whatever, we're still gonna go do it. And I seem to remember that when we arrived at the yard, he was this Polish guy was painting there, and it was me, you, Kino, Spunk, and Kush. And there were like eight other people painting. It was crazy.
yeah, it was that's Belgium.
Yeah, it's
No,
like a
literally,
famous yard.
yeah, but not even, yeah, that one. But I had it like loads of times in Belgium when like when you walk in, there's like people doing whole cars, or you're waiting in the bushes with like 10 other people just waiting to get in. Um, or when you are painting, there's like a big group coming in, and you're like scared because there's like all like guys in like fucking balaclavas, and you're like, okay, it's not police, so it's fine. But
Yeah,
you're kind of like
but
sketchy.
But when we came into the yard, I remember Kino going and talking to the Polish guy, and the guy said, don't worry, you came with 5 people. It's okay, my son. And he pulled him close and he kissed him on the forehead and he
Yeah.
said, go paint. And we were like, what the fuck's up with this guy? So weird.
Man, I can't remember that. The kiss on the forehead.
Yeah, he kissed him on the forehead, dude.
Man, that's like a death wish, you know, like it's like the kiss of death, like from the mafia, you know. Like, I'm
It's
happy
so
he's still
weird.
alive.
Polish mafia, yeah. So we're getting closer to the end of this episode, so I want to get a little bit more into some of our questions that are, I guess, the section that everyone's waiting to hear, basically, which is fuck, marry, kill, for some reason.
Please.
So we in this one, fuck, marry, kill is you have these 3 options. It's pretty tough, actually. Okay, it's the standard cap, which is the black cap with the white dot, which comes on 94 standard, which I love. The blue belt on soft cap, which is that gray one with the blue dot.
Okay.
And the last one is the Montana level 2, which is a like that dark green banana cap, which it's so shit and fluffy. Hate it.
All right, fuck. So I would marry the standard cap.
Yeah.
Because
Why?
yeah, man, it's
Solid.
good. It's solid. You can like it's a little bit fuzzy. I know Mars. Like I heard his episode and he hates it, but
He hates it. Gotta try
yeah,
new
for me,
things
man,
though.
I love it. Like I love the fuzzy outlines as well. You know, like for fuzzy outlines or for like highlights, or you can do
And
some
it's
cool effects.
fast, right? It shoots out fast.
Yeah, it's super fast. It's
Yeah.
very good for doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, man, I love it. I would marry it instantly.
Okay.
I was hoping for this question.
Really awesome.
Yeah.
And who would you
So
who
the
would you
second
kill
one
out
was
of
like
this?
the gray one with the blue
Yeah.
dot.
Well, it's a soft cap and it's like a skinny cap.
Yeah, I don't know. I never used that one a lot, so I would say probably kill that one and fuck
Just like
the Montana
stand
one.
on that though. You
Yeah.
fuck that
Well,
Montana? I
yeah,
mean,
because you know it's like a one night stand, so it's fine for once.
yeah, because it's not that good. You like use it just once and ditch it.
Yeah, fuck it,
Like,
man.
like
If it's clogged, it's clogged, and I put my shit in it. It's fine.
that's actually true. That's all right. Then
So for you, I'm
yeah.
gonna do the writer one.
Oh please, I love
It's
that.
gonna be Lumit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be Dame, the German 3D.
Oh yeah. 3D.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Shit.
And we're gonna put in a wild card. I'm not sure who I'm gonna choose. Cornbread.
Oh my god, it's like you see my reaction right now. I like you had good answers for these, but okay. Well, you know what? I probably I would probably fuck Cornbread because I bet he's a wild motherfucker, dude. Like he's a wild guy. He knows what's up. He knows what's up.
For the story, I would. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also wouldn't have to deal with his art too much, which is like okay, it's again like a one night stand, like you said, it's already clogged up. We just get in there and get out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I would kill Dame, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Is because even though I have a lot of respect for Dame, I'm surprised he didn't put Peter or something in there. But I am working on 3D, even though I'm classically a 2D artist. I would like to be better than Dame. I'm gonna laugh at this. Everyone's gonna laugh at me for saying that, but we're just gonna kill him and we're gonna do better. You know, we're gonna say, well, he was a great guy and he taught me a lot of stuff, but fuck it, he's dead now.
Yeah, now
We're moving on.
Your shit 3D can't be compared to his great 3D.
And I'd marry Lumit because Lumit has been around forever, and you don't even see many Lumit pieces anymore. But he's the most well-known 3D dude, like as a Molotov dude. He's just like a staple name, like of the house, you know, of the graffiti house. So yeah, definitely.
Right.
He is getting on, but you know, as you get older, I expect not to fuck as much. And anyway, I got cornbread. That's cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for asking me. Then my other questions are: if you could ban a color, what would it be?
Oh, blue.
If you could ban a color forever, really, I was not expecting that answer. Really,
I hate blue. I don't hate blue, but I like you would rarely see a piece of me with blue in it.
really.
Like a lot of blue. I used to do a lot of blue, but not at the moment.
You like
And
browns?
more of like the olive, the dirty.
Yeah,
I like all the shit that
yeah,
Mars doesn't like.
yeah. I know. That's exactly. I like weird shit too.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
weird
I
shit.
like the weird colors. Like I couldn't care if blue disappeared as long as turquoise is still here.
Oh, of course. Turquoise is like the safest color in the world.
Yeah, I love it.
Safest. Then my next one is what's your favorite surface? Easy one.
Uh, you would say it's an easy one, but I would say steel for sure. Um, at the
What
moment,
about
like it can change, you know. Like, but at the moment it's steel. Then afterwards, I would say maybe abandoned spots, and then after that,
so
maybe
like interesting textures?
yeah, interesting textures.
Mm.
Like I recently got into like painting freights a little bit, which is a lot of fun. It's more chilled. You can spend a little bit more time. Um,
Mm.
it's a lot more. Yeah, it's a lot more relaxing, man. I was thinking about bringing a barbecue or something next time. But
Wow, that
yeah, I'm not
chills,
sure.
eh?
Yeah, fuck
When
it, man.
I was in Kosovo this year, we went and painted this yard that they call the barbecue yard because it's so chilled. They're like it's so chilled you can shout in there. In fact, I didn't go the second time, but these guys got caught by security, and security were like, "What are you doing here?" And they gave them a sticker pack, and security left with the sticker pack, going, "Yeah, we got a sticker pack." You know
The
what
fuck?
the hell? So
Jesus
crazy.
Christ.
And it's an abandoned yard. It's not a running yard, so I can understand
Fuck
that.
yeah. There's a story about like some guys in Germany that they well, I think there's a lot of these stories, but that there's like cleaners in the yard, and if you give them weed, then they are fine. But if like one time like some guy gave them shit weed, and like they called the cops.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
that's pretty horrible. Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't give me fucking bad weed.
And then my next question is, if you weren't doing graffiti, what do you think you would be doing? Like, if you
Oh,
never found graffiti, if graffiti never existed, what do you think you'd be doing? Or maybe if it
honestly,
did exist, but you know.
I would probably be the most regular guy ever, man. Like going, like playing football, having bad knees. Well, I have bad knees, but having worse knees, ankles. Probably go to the gym. Probably doing my same job that I'm doing now. Like I'm a pretty regular
Okay,
guy,
okay, okay.
but just without the graph a little bit more.
Like a
Maybe I
hobby,
would.
dude. Like I don't know, maybe you'd be doing
I don't
something
know if I
weird. I
would
always
have it
say,
as a hobby, man.
okay,
Maybe
just
my
watching
hobby,
TV.
maybe my hobby would be fitness, you know,
Okay, cool.
which is
Um,
horrible.
and then one of the last things we have on here is our we have a segment that runs every time that's called Questions from Toys segment.
All right.
So questions from toys. Um, so
How do you get these guys? How do you get the
so
questions?
so so if you want to write in, you just email to offlineguyspodcast@gmail.com
Uh,
and you send in your questions. Preferably if you are a toy or if you have any questions that you've ever wanted to know about graffiti and no one's told you, even general public, anything. I'm interested.
so
Um, you can write
so
them in.
if sorry, I'm gonna ask you one further thing, one last thing.
Sure.
If Gantu would send in a question, would it be a toy?
Depends what the question is, I suppose. If the question says "fuck, Mary kill," then I'd say no.
All
But
right,
if and it
question
depends
from
who's in
James.
it. But you know,
All right. Let's get on with the question.
the question is. So last week we had Mars, and it was, "What can you actually do with the standard cap?" He doesn't know because he doesn't use it. For you, it is. This is a question from Omen in Amsterdam. Um,
Really?
yeah, a guy in Amsterdam. He says, "What underwear do you wear when going out to paint? And is it different for legal versus illegal?"
Yeah, I wear like fishnet underwear for doing illegal trains, and
Oh
I wear
shit!
like you know like these the ones that like really crop up your balls when doing walls.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
Calvin Klein ones, like a
Yeah, but
good
like if possible, like
sperm
two
catcher.
sizes too small, so it really gets up in your ass crack and it really busts down your balls, you know,
Oh
because
yeah, like it
you
makes
don't
you
want
like
to be doing that.
sketch harder and shit. Like, right?
Yeah, you just want to make sure you finish it faster and go home.
Okay, I have one more question for you, and it's what have in your experience of painting has been the weirdest thing you've ever primed a wall with? Because I primed a wall with the 20-liter lid, the lid of the 20 liter.
I thought we were talking about like what kind of primer, but
No, no, like what is an object you've used instead of a roller when you haven't had a roller or the roller's broken or something to prime a wall?
my
Hands,
sock.
maybe. Your sock. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. But
Before or after you
nothing
wiped, or
I took a shit and then I smeared it on the wall with my sock. So no, I don't like. I think I think it was my sock, but it wasn't very successful. Like I didn't finish the background. So
okay, yeah. I've had
I
some
tried to
weird.
stick once, but that wasn't really good.
No, I've also tried this. This is like bad.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're ending off the podcast now. So I wanna say to you, thank you so much for coming on and having a chat. It was so much fun, dude.
cheers, man. Thank you. Thanks
So
for having me.
fun, dude.
Good to talk to you again.
Yeah, and I mean I'm looking forward to seeing you in winter. So like
Please, man, come over. We'll have a good
I'm
time.
I'm totally coming over. I'm gonna be over for 6 weeks, so I'm gonna be there for a while.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
Um and yeah, so thank you so much for coming, and
Thank you.
I look forward to having you, maybe even a future interview, like a little bit down the line. We'll see how things go.
Yeah, cool, man. Good luck with the rest of the podcast. Curious
Thank
to
you
see
so much.
how it turns out.
All right, man.
Cool.
Thanks for joining us for episode 2 of Offline Guys podcast. Today we had a lot of fun interviewing Bulk. As a personal friend of mine, again, I learned so much doing this podcast. It was awesome. And if you guys want to follow along, you can follow our journey either on Offline Guys podcast on Instagram, or you can email your questions and thoughts, ideas to offlineguyspodcast@gmail.com. And we're available on all of your favorite streaming services. That includes Apple, Spotify, and YouTube.